Hello and welcome back to part 3 of my sort of learning to playthrough of Panzer Grenadier by Avalanche Press. In the last episode we saw the Germans chance their arm by trying to push forward, because I think they were going for an assault in that hex there, but were roundly repelled by the gallant Soviets here. The Major and his units here were attacking that hex, which caused one of their units to get demoralised and had to flee into the woods, screaming and shouting and gnashing the teeth and all that. So let's see what happens this time. Right, I've taken, as you can see, taken all the counters off, moved the turn counter, the game turn counter 1, so we're ready to start with the initiative. As you remember, Germans have 2 initiative and the Russians, or it should be more correctly the Soviets, but I'll probably keep calling them the Russians, have an initiative of 1. Here we go. Oh, it's a double, and a double means it's a random event. So I'll put that there just to remind us. Let's see what we get. Let's hope it's a bit better than last time. Last time was no event. 11. Oh, it's... Where are we? Change of orders. The Soviet player rolls 1 die and consults the new order table below. The new orders replace the scenario victory conditions for the Soviet player only. There's the new order table. Whoa, I like the sound of that. Let's have a go. 1 die. 3. What's that say? Oh dear. No. Shell shortage. All off-board artillery support ceases immediately. That's not right. Goodbye to that then. Oh dear. Right. Here we go then. 2 each. Germans, 2 plus 2 is 4. Russians, 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Halve it, half, round it up, 1. The Germans have it, and they get 1 action segment. Right. Well, I think we're just going to try and keep pummeling this stack here with our large combined fire here. So we've got the Major is going to activate itself and the stack, and that activates the captain, because I keep saying it's the 6 hexes around each hex. And also this one. Oh, had a bit of an accident there. There we are. So that, I believe, is 32 total strength, 10 in each, 10, 20, 30, plus 2 for the Major's combat modifier. And if you watched the last video, we've got some column modifiers. The unit is in a wood, or in the woods, so that's -2, and they're 3 or more hexes away, so that's another -1, but on direct fire only, you can only move down 2 columns. So we're on the 30, well, we have 32 strength, we're on the 30, move down 2, 1, 2, we're on the 16, so the Germans must not throw a 7. Let's see. Nine. Oh, that's just, I say just, where are we? That's just a morale check. So, Lieutenant first, 8 or less. Yeah, 3, he's okay. And this disrupted unit, no morale modifier, so he needs to get 7 or under a 7. 6, He's fine. He recovers. No, he stays as disrupted, beg your pardon. Okay, that was all right for the Russians, but those now have finished. Russians, well, I suppose they'd might as well use their only piece of indirect fire. They're going to use their mortars on the Major, or his stack. And as you know by now, if you've been watching the videos, we need 4 or less, 10 or more to do any damage. Let's see. 6. No. That's no effect. Okay. Germans. Germans are going to... I'm going to watch out for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So they could... There's 21 under here. So I'm going to watch out for that. There's 3 of them at 7 strength each. 1. So that can have a go. Let's I'm just checking something. So we'll activate this. It's a pain, this. So we will just move the 2, or 1 actually, 1, because if we move 2, we'll be in range of this thing. 1, 2, 4. And I don't fancy that. We'll move those there, just be a bit cagey. And that's that. The Russians. Well, let's try and we're going to activate this stack, and that activates that one. And that, you might as well. So this one is going to try and recovery, this one is going to try and a recovery, and this one is going to fire. I think that's right. Yeah, the 6 hexes. Okay. I think that's right. So, this lieutenant does not have any morale. It's going to, but the unit underneath is going to try and recover, so it's got a morale of 7, under 7 to do it. No, it's 9, it stays. This one is going to try and recover. It's morale of 7, but because it's demoralised, it has a -1 on its morale, so it's 6, so it has to throw under a 6. Oh dear, no. 9 stays like it is. And this one, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is 8 under here, 8 strength, I believe. Could wait and do opportunity fire, but no, you know what? Sorry, I know I said it, but I'm playing on my own, so there we go. That's not doing anything yet. Sorry, that wasn't an activate on its own. It's going to do opportunity fire. I think that'd be the safest thing, because if it fires, that's it. It's a clear run down if this doesn't hit. So that's it. Germans. And all they're going to do really, they're not going to play the Soviets game. They're not going to move until this actually gets sorted out, because it's a reduced platoon anyway. So that is going to activate and try and recover. So 5. There is no morale modifier from, from the lieutenant there. 5. Oh, under a 5. Here we go. No, look at that. 7. That's no good. So that's how to go. Five. Is it worth having a go with that other unit up there? It'll be on the 4 column. It'll come down 2 to the 1. You know, there's a -3, but as I say, we can only go down 2. 1, is it worth it? Then it has a pop back at up. Yes, let's have a go. Because it's only going to have a pop back at us at the end of the turn if we don't do anything. So this is firing. 5. We're on the 5 column, or 5 strength. That puts us on the 4 column on the chart. -2 for the Russians being in the woods. And another, no, just -2. We're not 3 hexes away now, are we? So, on the 1 column, we need to throw a 2 or a 3, or 11 or a 12. Right. 2! There's some sharp shooters in that unit. And on the 2, it's not great, but it's better than nothing, is a morale check. Oh, sorry, we are on the, yeah, we're on the 4, down 2. We did a morale check. Blimey. So, 2 morale checks at 7 each, 7 or less. 1 on the top. Yep. 1 on the bottom. Yep. They're okay. But my goodness. Oh. That was the best we could have done on that number 1 column, regardless of whether or not we threw high. So, Russians. These are just 2, aren't they? Yeah. We are... The Russians might as well. They've used everything else. So that's 8 under there. It's going to have a go at the disrupted column stack here. So 8, which is on the 7 column. There aren't, I don't think, any modifiers because it's not more than 3 away. Germans are in the clear. No, okay, on the 7 column it is. Crikey, all the fortunes of war. On the 7 column. It's a morale check on the 12 plus 2. M2 morale check. Oh, crikey. So, the leader, oh dear, the leader has to throw 9 or less, but there's a plus 2 to the dice. 10, no. Yeah, just doubly checking on the rules there. It's failed its morale check by 3 or more. 10, 11, 12. And he had to throw 9. So that's 3. He becomes demoralised straight away. No, no, no. And now this one, who is already morale 5 because it's reduced. So 5 or less with a plus 2 on the dice. Look at that! No! They're going to be as much use now as a chocolate fireguard. Right. I can hear the Russians cheering in the woods, jeering at them. But well done, good shooting. Oh, that I think is everybody having a go. These can't do anything because they're still twos range. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Germans are holding back. That is a powerful stack there. Right. Okay, I'll remove all the counters and we'll have another go. Okay, we've removed the moved fire markers, moved along the game turn. Let's see who gets the initiative. Oh. Germans get 1, Russians get 3, so 1 plus 2 for the Germans is 3. 3 plus 1 for the Russians is 4. The Russians have it. 4 minus 3 is 1. Halve it. Round it up. 1. Right. What are the Russians going to do? Well, remember, during this turn they've got to try and recover that unit there. These aren't doing much. They're holding back, of course, because this is a very powerful stack. So what we might do, we move this, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. If we move this here, or here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't move it there because if this decides to fire, I believe, it can't fire through a friendly unit. So this will be blocking it. If I move it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, it can go and attack these. So I think we'll do that. Could be foolish, but it's a bit of a stalemate down there. So let's do something. 1. Problem is, of course, it is now spotted by these. But let's see what the consequences of that is. Okay, Germans. Again, they've got to use one of their action segments this turn to try and recover that demoralised leader. They can't do anything at all. And this is going to have another pop at it, I suppose. So they're in right old trouble up here. So I think we may have to move these up here to replace and see if they can assault down this way. I think a flank attack rather, because of these we can't move forward, so we've got a dug in stack there as well. As I say, if you get this game, or you've got this game, you'll probably set them up, play it differently, but that's the beauty of these games, isn't it? Right, let's have a go at, let's do our usual 32 attack. We've got 10. This is going to activate these and itself and the stacks. So we've got the 32. We've got the +2 from the major there. So let's do our normal 32. They are in the woods. So that's a -2. More than 3 away, or 3 or more away, -1. But we're only minusing 2. We're on the 30. We're moving down to the 16. We must not throw a 7. 9. What do we got on the 16? Morale check. Right. Let's have a look. So the leader goes first, has to throw 8 or less. Oh no! Oh! He gets disrupted. And this unit here, this doesn't have any morale No, no morale modifiers. So this unit has 7, a morale of 7, so 7 or less for that one. 7 just does it. So let's pop that on there a minute. And there we are. Russians. Good grief. Having a bit of a brain burp there. Sorry about that. I should not have put moved fire on that one. I should have put the move fire on those. And the other thing is, it's demoralised because it threw 3 or more over its morale value. So there we are. Okay, hopefully that's it. Now the Russians. So I think the Russians will just, for now, fire their mortars at the old, as per normal, at the old major. Not been very successful at all with the bombardment, so let's see how we go. 8, as always, we need 4 or less, 10 or more. Come on, the Soviets. 4. That is a morale check for the major's stack again. So, major, 10 or less. 6. He's fine. Whoops. So he can now add his 1 to their morale. Come here. So, these are 7s. But they're now 8s because of the major's morale modifier. 8 or less. 8. Oh, just. And the one on the bottom. Oh! Crikey! That's demoralised. It's all happening. Dear, oh dear. You can see why this has got 28 turns. It's backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Right. Germans. Well, I'm not too happy about this. It can have a go at this, that's the problem. We may, next turn, move them up. This is going to keep moving up, I think, trying just to harass us all the time. But for now, I think I'm going to move these out the way and also see if we can reinforce up on our left flank and attack their right flank. So we'll activate this stack and we'll move them 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and with the lieutenant. Russians. I think we stay in the woods. I don't think we want to move it. That seems daft. So I think we'll hold it there. We may have to sort of move up a bit if these, it looks like they're going to be trying to come round the Soviets' right flank there. Let's see what they're up to. So this one here needs to be an attempt at recovery. So what we'll do is we'll activate this colonel, and as he's activated, he can activate this one, and he can add, I believe that's how it works, he can now use his morale modifier to help this one out. Problem is, it gets a move fire marker on it afterwards, can't do anything else, but it can't do anything anyway because it's only got a couple of infantry platoons under there and they can't do much. So we could, hold on, yeah, we could, yeah, let's activate these. I think that's right. Whoops. We can activate those 2 stacks with the colonel, and the colonel can now use his morale modifier for both of these because they're both demoralised. Now if they fail, this one's safe, but if this one fails under here, I think we've got a leader, haven't we? It runs away. and joins this one. So that's activates that, and it's going to add its 1 onto their morale. I think that's right. Again, let me know, because this is a learning process for all of us, especially me, and for me especially. A couple of things. A, it's hard to video and learn the rules, and B, it's hard to learn the rules. So this one is trying to recover. It has a morale of 8, but as it's demoralised it has a morale of 7, but the colonel bumps that back up to 8 because of his 1 morale modifier. So under an 8 for that lieutenant. No! And because of that, it has to flee. So it's going to flee back. It's got a movement of 4. Leaders have a movement of 4 when they move on their own. If he moves here, he's going to be fine, I think, because nobody can see him. I think that's right, and he can stay there and try and recover next turn. So I'll pop that there and that there for a minute. This one is going to have a go. He has a morale of 7, but it's 6 because he's demoralised, but it's bumped back up because of the colonel. Sorry about that, I've turned it off now. So we need under a 7. Yeah, oh no! So he is still demoralised, and what we'll do is we'll take that off. Pop that on there, come here, and move that there. I think that's right. Also that colonel, because he was activated to help them out, but didn't do much good. And he's on his Todd. Oh! Germans. All that can happen now is this is going to try and recover. So what have we got here? We've got another leader, crikey, and a unit. So the leader is going to try and recover. He has a morale of 9, but as he is demoralised, it's 8, so under an 8. 9. Good grief. He has to run away. And he's going to go round the back. Let me just move this back a bit. He is going to have to run behind this hill. Can't get there. 1, 2, 3. So what happens next turn, I believe, he will try again. If he doesn't recover, he continues round the corner and hides behind that hill until he does. This one has a morale of 5 because it's a reduced unit, so it needs to get under a 5. So, oh dear, what is the matter with these peeps? No. No luck for him. Russians. Ooh. It's not like they can do. This is out of range. This is already moved. These are out of range. It's just this one. But it's going to hold back because no, he's not going to run forward, is he? He's not going to run forward. No. So he's going to fire at this hex. We've got 8. There are no modifiers, no column modifiers. I believe on the 7 then, just to remind you, we haven't seen it for a bit. We're on the 7, we've got 8 strength, but we could go on the 7. So, look at that, we don't want a 6, 7, 8, or 9. Right, good luck. Been firing well so far. 6, no, I think the luck run out, and that is a miss. just the Germans. Well, he might as well have a go. Not much of a chance. He's 5 strength. They're in the woods, so it's down 2. And as before, quickly show you. So 5, so we're on the 4, down 2, 1, 2, we're on the 1. So a 3 and a 2, 11 and a 12. Let's see. No, 8. That, I think, everyone, is that. Okay, we'll clear off the old move markers and we'll have another quick go. I've removed all the moved fire markers, moved along the game turn counter, and we're ready to go. But a couple of things, because I've had to stop the video and I could have a look at it. This German leader up here has a movement of 4, so he could have moved 1 extra. 1, 2, 3, 4. So sorry about that. And the other thing is, there was a mysterious disappearance of the German heavy machine gun. So when I moved this stack, it wasn't in there, and I moved it 3. What had happened, I think, when I took off the move fire marker, I must have taken off the heavy machine gun as well. Anyway, it's there now, so and it's back here because it can only move 2. And the other thing that I forgot, because I moved these German heavy machine guns as a stack, and that's a no-no. You move them individually, and if I'd have done that, the stack lieutenant stack that was here with the heavy machine gun could have, if it wanted, taken opportunity fire. But as it was, this was moving up anyway. So don't forget that. Don't get sort of lazy like me and move the thing as a stack, because you could miss out on your opportunity fire. Right. So it is initiative to see who goes first. So yellow for the Germans, white for the Russians. Oh, 3 plus 1 for the Germans is 4. 6 plus 1 for the Russians is 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. We halve that. 1.5 rounded up. 2. The Russians go first and get 2 action segments before the Germans can do anything. Right. What are we going to do? Tell you what, I'm just going to move that over there. I know I'm a lefty, but it's a bit awkward being there. Right. So, oh, I've got to take that one off. There we go, because it's stuck up the top there. Right. So the Russians have 2 action segments. The Russians are panicking a bit because they can see this heavy machine gun moving up. So I think what they'll do is they'll use the colonel to spot, because I believe line of sight isn't blocked by other units. It only comes into play when you've got direct fire. So, as per normal, this is firing. This time it's bombarding or mortaring the lieutenant stack there. Might as well. As before, we're on the 8 stack, 4 or less, 10 or more. 10! And a 10 is morale check. We're off. I'm just going to put that on there in case I forget. So, 10 for the lieutenant. It actually has a, maybe that wasn't a good choice, because this is a good lieutenant. It's got a morale modifier of 1. Oh well. Anyway, 10 or under. Yep, he's fine. Hey. We've got 3 units here. We'll do the top one. They're all 7, remember, but the lieutenant now adds 1 on because it's got a 1 morale modifier. So 8 or less for this top unit. 7. Cool, crikey, only just. Look at that. The one in the middle. 5. And the heavy machine gun. 4. They're all okay. Phew, say the Germans. Russians get another go at something because they had 2 action segments. I could have, but then what are they going to do? Yeah, I keep forgetting I can activate this kernel. He can activate all of those. So anyway, we'll do that for this one. We'll activate this kernel. He will activate this and this because this has got to check for recovery. So, not that this is going to do anything because it's only 2 range. So, let's see if the lieutenant can get recovered. He has a morale of 8, which is 7 because he's demoralised, but now it's back to 8 because of this kernel here. Right, so under 8. 7, he does it. He is working his way back. He's disrupted. And now this doesn't have, now this one, again, morale of 7, which is 6 because of the demoralised status, and then knocked back by the kernel to 7 again, so under 7. Oh yes, and that's very good news for that unit, because if you throw an unmodified 2, that goes away. You skip the disrupted stage and go right back to good order. There we go. Right, Germans. Now under here, should really put that on the top there like that so I know. Would be the one in the middle, wouldn't it? So remember, this has to be, an attempt at recovery has to be made. So this, the Major's okay. So the Major is going to activate his stack. This stack, and this stack. And I think and hope this is going to try and recover, and the rest are going to combine fire and fire on this lonesome unit before the others can move back. So I think that's okay. So here we've got 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. This is going to recover, and this is going to move because it can't fire through friendly units. So fire, move, recover, whatever that one was. So let's do the fire first. 27. So they're on, not very good, on the 22, but we have 2 to come off of that because it's -2 for them in the woods, and another -1 because they're 3 or more away. But as you know by now, they can only move down 2 columns maximum. So we are on the 22, 1, 2. Not so good this time with this disrupted unit here. There. So 22, 1, 2 on the 11. Let's see what we get. Seven. I think that is, yeah, that's a miss. Right. This one's going to try and recover. The Major does have a morale modifier of 1, so this is 7. So we need to throw 8, under 8, 8 or under. Oh, look at that, look. That now has to run away. Oh, I thought we'd have had it there. So he's going to use his complete so he was here. So this thing has got to move away to a safe hex where it can't be spotted or fired upon. Now the problem is it can't go through this one because it's got 3 units in it. So it's going to have to go 1, 2, 3. It can still be spotted, so we'll have to, if it doesn't do it next turn, have to try it again. He's getting in, trying to get into this town. So just to remind, oh, got the wrong one on there. That you're thinking, what are you doing? There we go. So those 3 have done. It's just this one that was activated, and it's just going to move, and it's going to move, oh, 2 or 3. It's got that heavy machine gun under there. I can get to it. There we are. Annoyingly though, just 2 movement points. So 1, 2. Slowly but surely. That's it. Russians. These are just 2 units, we can't combine them. There's no leader with them. Well, this one is going to have a go at what? Let's see if we can eliminate, because remember the victory conditions are the amount of steps that are eliminated. So that is 8. It's on the 7 column for the direct fire. There are no modifiers, I believe, because it's in the clear. So we're just as is on the 7. 7. No, that's a miss. So they've had their go. I'm not going to fire because these would fire as 2 separate units. I'm going to move this one. I'm not going to do anything with this one this turn. I'm going to move that. They can't do anything. They fired. So we've popped them together again. And that's that one. Russians. This could, 1, 2, now can have a go. Silly, I should have moved them out of the way. No, I didn't. Oh, they're going to have a go. Mistake by the Germans. So that's 21. 21, 21, and we've only got 2 units in there. Oh, the Germans better keep their fingers crossed. 21 on foot. Oh, luckily it's... See, 22 is a magic number. So 21, they're on the 16. They are 3 or more hexes away. That's a -1. So on the 16, -1, they're on the 11. Oh, 5. On the 11 is a morale check. So, a mistake by the Germans. Forgetting about that stack of heavy machine guns. Oh, there we are. Oh, crikey. Right, so this one here. There's 2. So 7 or less. 9, no. It's a disruption. And the one underneath, 7 or less. 8, no. Oh, painful. They're both disrupted. Germans, the only thing the Germans can do is try and recover this poor old quivering leader up, hiding around the rock. Now, I think, as I said, line of sight is not blocked by units. So if he doesn't make it, I think this one and this one can still see him. It's a close call. I've just got my bit of string out. These can't because it's clipping the hill. This one though just goes along the sort of hex spine there. But anyway, we'll see. This is going to try and recover. It is a 9 because if it doesn't recover, not only does it have to move away from units that could fire on it, also that can spot it. So 9. Oh, what am I doing here? That should be. Oh, the joys of videoing. Right, he is going to try and rally. He is demoralised. He's got a 9, but it's an 8 because he is demoralised and needs to throw 7 or less, under an 8. 6. He does it. And can now start to either move 1 hex forward or stay there and try and recover fully so he can rejoin his platoons. But we'll see what happens. Okay, right, what's next? Well, I think the Russians have done everything. They can't fire. They've all been. They can't do anything. They've fired. I think the Russians made a mistake of digging in there. We don't know. We'll see what happens. It looks like that the Russians are concentrating now their efforts on the Soviets' right flank. And I'm sorry if the sound went a bit funny there as well. Right, hopefully it's back. Crikey! But I think that's it. I think everybody has done activations and action segments that they can or want to. So, that's passing, passing, passing. That's the end of the turn. That's it. Right, another quite long one. Hope that's okay. But it is a long, long lot of turns, so we've got to get as many in as we can. But I hope you're enjoying it. It is different. As I say, I like it. The backwards and forwards. So if you are still enjoying it, please subscribe to the channel. It does help. Like the video. Push the bell. That notifies you when I upload this stuff. Leave a comment if you wish. So, this has been part 3 of a playthrough and learn as you go sort of video of Panzer Grenadier by Avalanche Press. Till the next time, you take care and goodbye.